In the beginning of the movie, we see something is written in Somalia. Which means Earth has become hotter and problems, like drought and overpopulation, is killing Earth. So humans are looking for a new planet and they found one in year 2063. Humans have planned to send a scouting team to the new planet. But their spaceship Voyager will take 86 years to reach there. So they plan that they will make 30 most intelligent childs in lab by collecting gametes of intelligent and special people on Earth. And after the training they will send to space in spaceship to reach the new planet. They will reproduce in spaceship and their grandchildren, which is the third generation, will reach at the new planet. The kids were kept in a special place with high security and advanced technology. Richard was in charge of training the kids. Eventually the day comes when they all have to depart. And Richard wants to go with the kids. So he tried to convince the commander. At first she denies, saying it was not in the plan. But Richard convinced her, saying someone needs to raise the children, and also to protect them. Richard and kids left the Earth. And started their journey to reach at the new planet. Several years have passed. And now the kids have become teenagers. All of them gets up in the morning, do the work assigned to them, then they will have the food and then go back to sleep. Just like robots. They all seem dull and there was no friendly relationship among them. One day Sela says to Richard that their life are unimportant because they are the first generation. And they will not get to see the new planet. But Richard says her everyone's life is important. Showing her his parents' and grandparents' photo. One day after sprinkling water on the plants which was purified from human waste. Christopher sees computer found something toxic in the water given to the plants. He asked Richard if they are eating something toxic. But Richard says it was an error and told him to change the filter. Christopher tried to get information about the toxic chemical. But the information about that chemical was locked. To get the information about the chemical, Jack and Christopher hacked the computer system during night. And they find out that the blue liquid they are consuming daily is an antiandrogen medication. Which stops the formation of androgens in body. Which causes the dullness and elimination of sexual desires and sensations in body. After that they stop talking the blue. Zach and Christopher told about the blue drink to two of their crewmate. And Christopher also tells them that he had found a secret room in spaceship which is locked. In the next scene we see Christopher and Richard are sitting in a room. Where Christopher wanted to ask Richard about the blue. But instead he asked him about the secret room in Pod 23. Richard said him that he don't know much about the secret room. And that room may be for the third generation. After their conversation, Richard sends a message to Earth telling that the kids are smart and sensitive. And he doesn't want to hide any truth from them about the mission. But it will take more than 2 months to get a reply from Earth. Christopher and Zach both fell in love with a girl named Sally. Zach tries to propose her but she denies her proposal. So Zach grabs her hand. And Richard tells Zach not to grab her hands. Zach and Christopher now have changed. They are fighting, shouting loudly, and do race in the ship. One day they heard a creepy sound in the ship. So they went to the control room. One of their crewmate was there in control room. Zach says them that the sound may be produced by an alien. Zach and Christopher was wandering in the ship. And they saw Sally was in Richard's room. And Richard was touching Sally's shoulder. Zach becomes angry by seeing it. That night Richard called everyone and said that they had lost contact with Earth because the LCT transmitter has malfunctioned. And he chooses Zach to help him fixing the transmitter outside the spaceship. Zach goes to Sally and touch her body inappropriately. When he was trying to force him into her. Richard comes and stops Zach. Then Zach get angry and run away. After that Richard asks Christopher and finds out that they both are not taking the blue. Now Richard takes Christopher with him instead of Zach to fix the spaceship. When they were in space repairing the spaceship, everyone hears a strange sound and suddenly a black shadow comes and attacked Richard. Due to that whole ship was damaged and unfortunately Richard died. Now everyone have to choose a new chief officer and they stars voting. Eventually they choose Christopher to become the new chief officer of the crew. Christopher says everyone that first of all they have to repair the spaceship. So Christopher and other crew members starts repairing the spaceship. Zach and his friends says everyone that they should stop drinking blue. And everyone stops drinking blue. As the result, we see everyone's personality now have changed. They all are fighting, running, having sex and having so much fun. Lately everything was going wrong in the ship. No one was working properly. And violence was taking place among them. So Richard calls everyone to discuss about the problems and tells everyone to get back to their jobs. But Zach and some people didn't listen to him. And Zach made his own team. Zach and Kai went into the surveillance room and told everyone to stay outside. They came out running and they were scared. Zach told everyone that they saw a dark alien in the surveillance room. And the alien tried to kill them. Christopher and his team find out a damaged memory disk inside the surveillance room. Eventually Christopher and his team find out that the sound they heard during the Richard's death was just the spaceship's sound, and Zach was the one who killed Richard by switching on the cables that was supposed to be shut down. Christopher told everyone that Richard was murdered by Zach. And there is no alien in spaceship. But Zach told everyone that the alien was inside the Richard. That's why he killed him. Zach said he killed Richard to protect everyone. And he also said that Christopher brought the alien inside the spaceship. And now the alien is in another own's body. Doubting on a crewmate of being possessed by alien. Everyone chased him and at last killed him brutally. Zach's team got more violent and collected scissors and knives as their weapons. Sela tells to Christopher and others that their team also need weapons. And she also tells to Christopher that Richard mentioned in a video that Christopher know about the weapon room. Christopher remembers about the locked room in Pod 23. He goes there and find out the room. But he wasn't able to open it. And while he was trying to open it, members of Zach's team find out about the room and called Zach and others. Zach and his team was able to open the room and got inside the room, and they found the weapons that was kept for the third generation. Anna and Alex from Christopher's team join Zach's team and reveals him where Christopher and his team members are hiding. After that, Zach and his team came and caught Christopher. One of the Christopher's teammate tells everyone that they all should follow the rules and tells them to become normal and not to get wild and violent. But Kai killed her with his gun. And everyone was shocked by seeing that. Then Zach tried to kill Christopher and Sela. Zach and his team chased them. But Christopher and Sela escaped Zach. Christopher and Sela was hiding in a room. But Kai saw them. When Kai was trying to kill them, Christopher hits him with a cylinder and Kai died. Eventually Zach found them and chased them to kill. Christopher and Sally went into the pressure chamber and wear the space suit. When Zach shooted at the door, he was dragged outside to space by air pressure, but he holed Sally and wounded her with a knife. Christopher saved Sally and tried to throw Jack outside the space, but Christopher falls outside the space. Then Sally kicked Zach out of the spaceship to the space. Luckily, Christopher survived. And after that everything goes back to normal and Sela was chosen to be the new chief of the crew. And everyone decided not to consume blue anymore. Time went by, Sela and Christopher had a baby, and so was the other members of the crew. After 86 years, the Voyager has arrived at the new planet. And everyone is looking at it through the windows of spaceship. And the journey ends. Make sure to subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon to stay notified about our new videos. Thanks for watching.